Good evening. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Chaz Allen. I am the Sales and Marketing Manager for Global Team Travel. Global Team Travel is part of UK Elite Soccer, and many of you know UK Elite very well, and also know Team UK Elite over the last few years. And thank you for joining me. For those that don't, welcome, and I look forward to explaining to you about the program and give you a little insight into who we are. Let me just move the slide on here. So UK Elite Soccer were founded in 1992, and their mission was to provide year-round training, soccer training to players of all ages, and they have developed a wonderful curriculum of quality soccer education programs, professional coaches for teams, for players, for individuals, and for other coaches. Over the years, the programs developed, and they started residential camps in 1998. And last year, in 2014, 2,500 players enjoyed that experience. And again, it is the mission was, as the program developed, the message was we need to immerse players into enjoying soccer, living and breathing it on a daily basis, and being around our coaching staff 24/7. And as this grew, we started thinking about the next experience for players, and the natural step for us was to develop their soccer education further. And where better to do that than in Europe, where obviously soccer is the main sport. It doesn't have to compete with a range of other sports as it does here, and obviously the passion over there is something different. Although I think over the last few years the game has developed over here incredibly. So the program, we decided, right, well, what's the next step? Let's allow teams to travel and experience European soccer. So we started promoting the program and started taking teams overseas to England, to Italy, to Spain, and that was a great success. But we found that as we were making presentations to different teams, that perhaps a team only had 7 or 8 players that were interested, and as a result, the players that wanted to travel could not, because obviously they didn't have the numbers to do so, to play in tournaments or friendly games. So the concept of Team UK Elite formed at that juncture, and what we decided to do was to develop a program to reach out to individual players, and again to teams that only a proportion of the players could travel. So it was a great idea, and this really took off. And in 2006, we took our first group to Italy to play in a tournament there, and 2007 to England, and then Spain 2008, and so on. And what we found as we experienced different countries and different cultures, that we were very comfortable traveling to Spain and to Italy and to tournaments there. It provided us the best mix of culture, um, tremendous sightseeing, but also a very well organized tournament that offered what we were looking for in terms of player development and experience, where they were able to compete against teams from around the country, from around the world. Um, so one day they'd be playing against a team from Spain, and the next day a team from Italy, and it was just a fantastic experience. And the players returned to do the experience the next year and the year after, and many of you have done that and enjoyed that experience year after year. I personally first-hand experienced with my son, who travelled to Italy this past year to the San Marino Cup, and enjoyed the experience tremendously. He is 14 and decided to make this trip this summer. And was 13 when he decided that he wanted to do it. And he didn't know anyone on the tour, and I was very comfortable sending him. He was able to fundraise, and off he went. His first time traveling alone, and of course, I was a nervous, worried parent, but yeah, absolutely blew me away in terms of how much he enjoyed himself, the camaraderie that he experienced in meeting players and kids from all over the country, and is still in contact with them, and players on the West Coast and in New Jersey, and we live up in upstate New York. So it's truly a national experience now, and we have players joining the trip from different parts of the country. So the experience for him and for this year will revert to Spain, and the Denastri Cup. The Denastri Cup is probably one of the top European tournaments. It boasts about 400 teams from a range of 25 or so different nationalities, and the fantastic thing about that is that the players travel and experience almost like a mini Olympics, where they're representing their country, they're representing Team UK Elite and the USA, and competing against the different nationalities. So yeah, it's a tremendous experience. And again, I've been sending teams overseas for 20 years. Global Team Travel is the travel wing of UK Elite, and we've enjoyed tremendous experience and growth over the last few years, and putting together some of the best tours and trips that are on offer. And we use this experience to develop the program so that it has the right balance of cultural activities, has the right balance of soccer, and it is managed in a very professional manner. As I said, we coordinate, and I'll discuss the flights a little bit later, but we coordinate obviously a number of groups originating from different destinations. We have flights that will depart from different gateways in the Northeast, from JFK, from Newark, from Boston, and we also have players joining us from different parts of the country now, from Texas and from the Northwest. So it's very exciting. Everyone flies out where we can. We will provide direct flights. Obviously, departures leaving on the 30th of June traditionally depart early evening. If you imagine, the time difference is about 6 hours, so with a 7-hour flight, approximate 7-hour flight, if you depart at 7 in the evening, you're going to arrive about 8 in the morning. Obviously, with different different gateways and different flights, the players and the group will arrive at different times, and obviously we coordinate this very carefully so that coaching staff and our administrative tour managers on each flight, and when players check in, as my son did, there was someone there to meet them. Everyone's wearing their Team UK Elite gear and looking the part, and it's very exciting for them on the arrival, and off they go. So on arrival in Madrid, you'll be met by motor coach. Our tour manager will ensure that everyone's on board or where they're supposed to be, and we also have a bilingual tour guide that participates and stays with us throughout the trip. We actually coordinate so that each team has their own coach, and there are generally a number of tour managers. We tend to have a tour manager for the girls, a tour manager for the boys, and a general tour manager. So there's plenty of staff to player ratio is very good, and we're very comfortable, over the years with that experience. So on arrival, the flights arrive at probably different times in the morning, or will arrive at different times in the morning, and will be met. Obviously we want to maximize the stay, so one bus may head off and do some local sightseeing in and around Madrid until everyone arrives, and we can check in maybe early afternoon to our hotel in readiness for our first training session of the day. Now, or first training session of the trip. The one thing that I think has always been beneficial is to keep going on that first day, because obviously people are tired. I know, that when players are flying over, probably the last thing they want to do is sleep on their flight, because of the excitement and the expectation of arrival for a trip that they've been looking forward to doing for many months. But our experience is that it's important for them to keep going during the day. So a light training session is a good way to do that, to keep, to be able to get their feet under them, and keep going throughout the day, so that after dinner they can head to bed Spanish time and not US time. And this works the best way to avoid the jet lag. On July 2nd, we have your second training session with our own staff, again developing the team in readiness for the tournament, any camaraderie and dynamics within the team, and this is important, I think, to ensure readiness for the trip. Maybe working on different aspects of the team. Later in the morning, we're going to visit Real Madrid Stadium, the Bernabeu, which I'm sure many of you know, and I'm sure even more of the players will know. It's a fantastic venue, one of the world's most famous stadiums, and obviously the home to the current one of the best teams in the world, and obviously Ronaldo and many of the other players that have graced the team. You also get to visit the museum, to see many of the trophies, and that's I think a real thrill and one of the highlights for many of the players. In the afternoon, obviously we'd like to ensure that you see as much of Madrid as possible, and there's some wonderful sights within the city. And again, during the trip, and it's a 12-day experience with 10 nights, we've got a wonderful balance of sightseeing and soccer, where you see Madrid ahead of the tournament in the Denastri Cup, and then Barcelona at the end of the trip, which has worked out very well for us. Moving on July 3rd, after a couple of nights in Madrid, we transfer up to San Sebastian. This is a 4 or 5 hour motor coach drive, heading up to the Atlantic coast, where you will find San Sebastian. San Sebastian is just a stunning place to see. You'll see here from the picture, probably doesn't do it justice, but it's a wonderful horseshoe bay on the Atlantic coast, on the northern coast of Spain, surrounded by mountains, and just spectacular views wherever you go. Has a new part of town, and also the traditional quarters with cobbled streets. And San Sebastian is now really one of the most gastronomic places or cities in Europe, and has a fantastic reputation for restaurants, with 3 Michelin stars down to tremendous pizzerias and places to meet your budget and meet your needs. And again, a fantastic place to house one of the leading tournaments in Europe. So on arrival, we'll check into our hotel accommodation for the players. For the families. The players will check into their accommodation, and I'll talk about that in a little while. We'll register at the tournament, and again in the afternoon after the motor coach ride, it's a good way to stretch your legs and enjoy another training session with our coaching staff before the tournament begins on July 4th. July 4th is obviously a big day for all of us, and in celebration of that, the Denastri Cup provide the Parade of Nations. Well, that would be nice, but we'd like to think so anyway. But it's the tournament begins on the 4th, and then in the evening they have their opening ceremony. And again, it's a wonderful, unique ceremony with many different nationalities represented, fireworks and different live music, and again, it's just a great way for the tournament to begin. The Denastri Cup continues on July 5th, where we have qualification games. Each team is guaranteed at least 4 games, and there are 4 or 5 different teams in each bracket, as it were, and you'll play a mix of games over the first 2 or 3 days before the tournament heads into semi-finals, quarter-final stages. On July 5th, we have a visit to Biarritz in France. So again, we visit another country, and again, Biarritz is a wonderful resort, a short trip away across the border, and again, that gives everyone an opportunity to experience a different culture and different language, of course. So moving on from there, we then on July 6th continue our competition. So we might have 2 games on this day or 1 game on this day, depending. But I think what we found with our Team UK Elite family is that there's tremendous camaraderie within the group. And if you think of 150 people, we might have 5 or 6 different teams in a range of ages, but everyone supports each other. So if one team isn't playing, you get the opportunity to go and support another team as they hope to win their games to qualify for the next stage of the tournament. On July 7th, we have the semi-finals, and in the afternoon, at some point of the day, we'll have, for those that are able to, they're not competing, we'll travel and do a tour of the Basque Coast. The Basque region is the region that San Sebastian is located, and again exploring many of the coastal towns and villages thereof, and in tasting and trying the different foods that are available. July 8th is the Denastri Cup finals day, so hopefully we'll have a number of teams still playing today and supporting each other. Obviously, it's the San Sebastian is located on the coastline, and you have the opportunity to relax on the beach on a daily basis. The Denastri Cup party is held in the evening, and again a great way for everyone to immerse themselves in the culture of the tournament. On the 9th, we say goodbye to San Sebastian and travel down to Barcelona, which again is about a 5-hour bus ride. This is broken up with stops on the way so that everyone can stretch their legs or grab a bite to eat and so on. Great scenery as you travel down through the mountains there and into Barcelona, which is nestled, of course, on the Mediterranean Sea, and just a wonderful place to visit. It is, of course, the capital of Catalonia, again, a different part of Spain, different district of Spain, and they're fiercely proud of their traditions. Of course, it is home to Barcelona FC, the home of Messi and Neymar and many greats that are playing in the world today, and one of the best clubs in the world. And you get to see the stadium and the tour and visit the dressing rooms and the press room, and they have a wonderful club shop where you can buy a range of different Barcelona gear, and or hopefully maybe bring a unique gift home for someone else in the family. So finishing off on the 10th of July, we'll do some sightseeing of Barcelona, visit many of the major sightseeing locations, such as Park Güell, which is the wonderful park designed by the legendary Gaudi, who also designed and started the building of the Sagrada Familia, which is the cathedral you'll see as an optional visit that afternoon. We try and pack as much as we can into the program, and obviously some folk like to do different things, so we like to hit the major sites and then allow different families, different groups to do some of the optional sightseeing if there is time, or there is a preference to do so. So after seeing some of the main sites and moving on in the afternoon, you get a chance to walk along the Ramblas, which is the main thoroughfare in Barcelona. From the beaches, it drives through the heart of the city with the wonderful old section to the right of the Ramblas, and the Ramblas is full of street entertainers and different market stalls and some great shopping, and just a great place to people watch and enjoy the atmosphere of the city. We'll depart the next morning on July 11th to say goodbye to Barcelona and to Spain, and again, flights tend to be ranging from morning through the afternoon, and arriving late afternoon, early evening, depending on the different flights in your different destinations in the States. What I will start talking about now is some more of the general information about the trip, the logistics, and some of the inclusions within the program. So you'll see down on the left hand side you have inclusions, and cost includes, and you'll see there we have a 2-night stay in Madrid, 6 nights in San Sebastian, and 2 nights in Barcelona for a 10-night stay. The different types of accommodation that you'll see listed there, all the travelers will stay in Madrid together in a hotel, and the same in Barcelona. In San Sebastian, it's slightly different. We have the players staying in the Olorraine residence, which again we feel gives them the best experience possible. It allows them, this is where all the other teams are staying from all the different nationalities, and it allows them to experience that flavor, if you like, of participating in a mini Olympics, and staying in the resident halls. These are very well managed, very secure. You'd stay with your team coach and manager, and the parents will stay in a local hotel, both of which are centrally located and a few minutes from each other. In terms of your food, we have included breakfast and dinner in both Madrid and Barcelona. It's slightly different again in San Sebastian because we include just breakfast there, with the dinner on the day of arrival, because we're arriving late, and well, not arriving late, but arriving there, and we feel that with the training session and organization, it's best to have one dinner in situ and organized for you. And then once you become familiar with your surroundings, we feel it makes sense for you to, instead of being glued, as it were, to your hotel and having to eat in your hotel dining hall every night, that it's much better to enjoy the many restaurants and places to eat that are available in San Sebastian. Everyone's on the go, everyone's doing their own thing. This team might be playing, this team might be spectating, or running off and doing something different. So in coordination with each team coach and manager, or the group, they'll find places to go and stay, and enjoy the different places that are available in the city. We do have a full-time bilingual guide that we coordinate with our partners in Spain, and they obviously help facilitate the program. Will meet us on arrival and ensure that there's no language barrier, and they're obviously very familiar with the different sites and activities that we're doing in the tournament, and just makes it run very smoothly. And again, if anyone in the trip has questions or concerns, then between our tour guide and our tour manager, that you'll see further down, we have a UK, as I mentioned, UK elite coach and team manager per team. We look after everyone very well, and help orchestrate any issues that may arise, or any particular needs that you might have, to ensure that everything runs smoothly. We do have a dedicated bus for all your transfers and visits that are included in the program. These are proper motor coaches, European style, and very luxurious, and you know, provide us with the ability to get around to do the things that we want to do in a timely fashion and coordinate on a daily basis. We do have, as I mentioned in the program, 2 training sessions in Madrid and 1 in San Sebastian. The fees also include the entry fees to Denastri Cup, and then you have the entrance fees to the stadium tours of Real Madrid and Barcelona, etc. We do include the Denastri Cup card, which is part of the package, and this allows participants access to a number of different places, shops at a discount within San Sebastian. As mentioned, the cost does not include lunch throughout your stay in Spain. We're on the go the whole time, so we allow this flexibility within the program for the different teams and groups to eat on the go or as they see fit during the tour and during the tournament. We also do not include the tips and gratuities, which are separate. And what we try and do within the program is include everything where possible, so that you don't have to worry about extra items when you get there. My son, with his experience, I provided him with a card that he was able to use and take out cash, and obviously I could deposit money as needed with there, and they do this in relation with their team coach and team manager to ensure that security and safety are paramount, and that their needs are taken care of while they're over there, and that all went very well for them. In terms of the cost, we offer in Spain double occupancy for everyone. Obviously there's single occupancy as needed, and we just do a rounded cost for the players at $19.95, and the parents is $21.95. The difference being there is the hotel as opposed to the residence at the tournament. There is an option for a third person, say a child, if families are traveling, to stay in the room at that extra cost. And obviously with the higher price of single occupancy, it may be preferable to, if you do know another parent, to share a double or twin room. But obviously the majority of players we would encourage to stay together, just because I think that allows them to enjoy the experience of the tour, develops a camaraderie, and that's the I think the driving force behind the whole experience. Yes, we want families to be able to enjoy the trip too, but obviously the tour is designed with the kids in mind and their experience together. Flight prices, we'll publish those on our website, and you'll be able to see all the information from the tour on our website and access that. I did want to say that there is an option or opportunity for you to submit questions which you may have. Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to do that live, and I recorded the webinar for you so that you could enjoy it at a time that was convenient for you, and we'll post this on the website as well. Again, if you wanted to go back and listen to aspects of it or share it with friends or family, there is an opportunity to do that as well. You'll also, and I'll discuss that towards the end of the presentation, there's an opportunity to email us at head office. So flight prices will be published, as I mentioned. They include all airport taxes and fees, and they'll be from a range of different gateways. Traditionally, we use JFK, we've used Newark, Philadelphia, Boston, and as I said, there'll be flights available from further afield in Texas, as well as from the Northwest. We do try and book direct flights where that's possible, and the flights will vary. We may have less expensive flights from, say, from JFK, as opposed to Boston or from Newark. And again, we'll have a number of seats, maybe 30 or 40 seats at each gateway to ensure that those that want to travel or fly out from those gateways will make it possible. So going into the booking terms and conditions, I'll talk a little bit later about the fundraising opportunities that we offer. I'll go in to talk about our payment information. We have listed, because the program has been available for some time now on our website, that people have been able to register over the last few weeks. But that's, this is available now on an ongoing basis, so that people can register all the way through. I think our deadline will be November or December 1st, and we'll have different, as you see there, we have different payments, from our deposit to our second payment to our third payment in January. And then the final payment or balance will be in April 15th. And the reason why we have an April 15th deadline is because we have to pay hotels, we have to pay the airlines their costs by that time, and obviously the payment schedule reflects the schedule that we have to commit to, and we pass that on to you. Credit card payments, we also have that for your convenience, so you're able to use your credit cards, Visa, Discover, Amex and MasterCard. We have to pass on the small surcharge of 2.5% for these, but obviously that allows you to be able to offset the charges on credit card and make those payments. With a trip like this, obviously there's a large number of people. We have a cancellation policy that reflects again some of our payments to the hotels, to buses and so on, to the tournament. We don't always make with 150 people, it's not always, we don't always pass on those costs, because obviously with such a large group, with one person dropping out, maybe another person adds on. So where possible, we don't pass on those charges. But in some instances, we have to be a little more restrictive, just to ensure that we meet our payments. Families can travel separately if they wanted to arrange their own flights. I would say that we prefer that you didn't, because the whole experience traveling together, traveling on the same flight, wearing the same uniform, is one of the enjoyable experiences. But obviously, if some people are traveling from further afield or want to extend their stay, they're welcome to do that. We would just suggest, where possible, that you stay or you travel on the same flights if you can. But if that isn't possible, it is up to you to meet with the group on arrival at the airport, so that you can connect with us and obviously we'll arrange that or help you arrange that as needed. But we're not a travel agent as such, so we won't be organising those flights ourselves. We're more of a group tour company, and that's why the flights are organised in this way. One of the other things that aren't included is we do require Team UK Elite uniforms. Players will receive 2 game jerseys, 2 shorts, 2 pairs of socks, tour t-shirt, jacket, and a bag. And the approximate cost of this is about $275. This is with our partners at soccer.com and Adidas. And again, it's great to be able to obviously walk through the airport together, to travel to the tournament, all wearing the same uniform, all being part of the same family. And it's very distinguishable, and I think now our reputation is a good one, that that people see us coming and know what Team UK Elite is all about. So to our fundraising. The fundraising we offer is very simple. Again, through our partners in Europe, we have organised a wonderful long weekend, a 4-night stay in Lake Como near Milan in Italy. And each player that registers, once they send their deposit, will be issued with 300 prize draw tickets. And we suggest a donation of $10, but basically the players keep 100% of the donations, and the draw will be made on June 1st of next year. My son, who, as I mentioned, travelled with the group this year, he raised about half of his trip through the fundraising program that we offer. And what I suggested to him, and I'd suggest to you, is that each player draws up a list of friends and family, and it's a list of mum and dad, cousins, aunts, uncles, people that they know at school, teachers, friends, family, and draw a big list and send off or request donations from that list, and hopefully raise enough funds for that. But it's a tremendous opportunity. Many of the fundraising options that there are available tend to request fees and be logistically a lot harder to organize. This is very simple and very easy to use, and again, we can offer any number of tickets. If people are selling more, we'd be happy to help you raise the money you need. We do offer tryouts. The tryouts information will be held regionally during November, and details are to be confirmed. We'll post the tryout information and send the information to you once you register. The trip or the tryouts are an important part for us because obviously we want to ensure that players are working together, so that they develop the team, they develop the understanding of what the coaches are looking for. Obviously, as they're individual players in many cases and coming from different teams, it's important to bring them all together. And we set up the teams. Obviously, we're not sure exactly who will register, and you might have a couple of under 16 teams, maybe 1 girls and 1 boys. You might have 2 boys in the under 14 age group. So when it comes to tryouts, we try and sift through this. The one advantage we do have, which allows us a little bit of flexibility, is that in Europe, the age categories for the tournaments are done on the calendar year, and obviously over here we base the age categories on a August to August basis. So that does give us the opportunity to move some players around to create teams. Maybe a U14 can play up to a U15, or U15 can play down to a U14. So that ensures that we have the teams that we're looking for, and as the teams form, then we get an opportunity to train together. If you're in a satellite location such as a Texas or in the Northwest, and you come to a tryout and there's only a handful of players, don't worry. That's normal. We tend to have more players from the Northeast, but it allows us to see you, and you experience the program, and join and be part of Team UK Elite. So in terms of moving on and the next steps in terms of registration, we will send out confirmation emails following the tryouts. We ask that players that are successful commit by the 1st of December, and that must include the signed registration form and the $500 deposit. And you can see the registration packet on our website. If you have any questions, you can email Nancy at globalteamtravel.com. Nancy is an absolute star. She's been working with these groups for a number of years now, and is integral to the process. Many of you know her if you've traveled on a previous trip, and she is more than happy to answer any questions or concerns that you have regarding the tour. And as I said, there is an opportunity for you to send in your question if you wanted to do that after the webinar. And we do send out regular updates to you through the process. And again, when my son was concerned, it was a very easy process. Obviously, I was glad to be able to experience that firsthand as a parent, and you know, the information that we received was very easy to complete. There was options to complete it on our website, online, and again, Nancy was available to help during office hours, and was tremendous in that process. So thank you for joining us. I do hope you enjoyed the webinar and understand the process and the trip that we're looking forward to developing in 2016. We hope that you'll participate and enjoy the experience. And thank you again for joining me, Chaz Allen, and Team UK Elite Spain 2016.